Hey guys, welcome to episode 4 of the Cybervice podcast.
And in today's episode, we're going to talk about, of course, some GTA 6 topics, but also we're going to answer some of the questions you guys have asked us about not just GTA 6, but also the channel, the podcast, and everything that surrounds it.
So pretty much what we're going to be getting into in today's video is our first topic that we want to get into is the improvements to the police AI. Now, I know you've covered this on your channel already, as have I. Do you want to kick this one off?
Yeah, so I think it goes without saying we're going to be talking about leaks. So please no comments down below being angry that we spoke about leaks. This is the warning. Leaks are going to be mentioned. As we saw back in 2022, obviously there was that leaked development footage. And in that development footage, we saw some very interesting things. I think fundamentally it came down to the fact that it wasn't a black or white thing. Like you weren't wanted and you weren't not wanted. It was very similar to what they had in Red Dead Redemption 2, where there's a systematic approach to you being wanted, maybe people looking for you, but we saw that there was a timer linked to the wanted level. When you intimidate someone or you rob somewhere, there is a call out time, and that call out time is directly related to how fast the police come out, and it also tells you when they arrive at the location. That's based on what we've seen so far. I'll hand it over to you for the next bit.
Yeah, so I think like in terms of that particularly, like I think it's going to make everything so much more interesting. It's going to make gameplay just so much more dynamic. Like you think back to, you know, even GTA 5 currently at the moment, like the cops just literally rush on in when let's say you're at ammunition or whatever and you're holding up the store in there. You just throw a bunch of sticky bombs at them and you just kill them pretty much instantly. So I think the approach from the cops when they are coming for you, once you do have that wanted level, it's going to make everything just so much more interesting because, you know, it's just going to make everything much more difficult as well. So can't wait to see how it happens and how they go about it, but it looks already pretty promising.
Yeah, no, 100%. It looks way better than what we've seen previously. And yeah, I mean, I'm just looking through the notes that you put down there about like the CCTV footage. Obviously in the trailer we saw some CCTV clips. Obviously we are simply speculating here. We have no idea how important CCTV is going to be to the game, but the fact that they were using like police chest cam footage, they were using CCTV footage in the trailer, probably shows that the technology that they're trying to represent in terms of realism in the game is more akin to present day than it was in GTA 5. Yeah,
that's right. And the thing is with that in particular is it's just going to make everything just way more realistic as well. But also our approach in missions or even just free roaming, we're going to have to be much more probably stealthier. And this probably touches on a little bit of one of the new features that looks like is going to be added in, which is what we saw within the leaks, our ability to actually go prone. So that's going to make everything so much more interesting because it's just going to make things much more challenging. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. Maybe something else is like Red Dead Redemption 2, we saw obviously like when you're wanted by the law.
The lawman, yeah.
Yeah, the lawman, like you know, when you rob somewhere, you can wear a mask, or when you commit a crime, you can hide your identity. It showed that the approach to the policing system was non-linear. Like it wasn't a case of, you know, you bump into someone on the street and then you have 1 star. It's more of a case of you've committed a crime. There's a time for the police to respond. When they arrive, they don't just start shooting, guns blazing. It's like maybe the wanted levels are more detailed in the way the police treat you. Obviously in GTA 5 it was actually more realistic because police in America do shoot to kill. Wait, I can't say that. Can I say that? Can I say that?
Can't say that on here. Oh my days.
But yeah, like it looks like they're trying to take a more, I mean, because police chases in GTA 5 are just boring now because you can predict exactly what's going to happen. They just try and crash into you, and for some reason police cars in GTA 5,
they're so aggressive.
Yeah, like they'll take out 5 NPCs to get to you if they have to. Like I'm pretty sure that's not how the police work in real life.
It's so true. It's so true. You literally just have the cops and they'll just be running over a bunch of pedestrians while you're just trying to get away from them. It's the most funniest shit.
Yeah, well, like you hold up a store and you get like $200 from behind the till and 9 NPCs die in the process. It's wild.
They're always so aggressive. Like you literally just stand next to them. I think, do you know that guy called Enigma? That guy that makes the GTA Logic videos on YouTube?
No, I don't.
I don't know. Yeah, he's a really cool channel. I've got to link him to you.
Yeah.
Essentially, he makes these videos videos where he goes like comparison between GTA 4 physics or wherever it may be compared to like GTA 5 or any other Rockstar title or even any other game actually. He just compares the logic in the games, and he was comparing like the GTA 4 cops to the GTA 5 cops.
Yeah.
And like when you stand next to the GTA 4 cops, like you don't even have to like literally do anything, and they don't do anything, right? But the GTA 5 police, they literally just pull their guns out straight away and start firing at you, even if you just stand next to them. It's just ridiculous.
It's crazy. And it's also like, it does beg the question of like, we compare everything now to GTA 5, and because it is the closest thing to GTA 6, but because GTA 5 is a very old game now, it's like what they can do in GTA 6, you know, us theorizing and speculating, that's the word. Us theorizing and speculating on GTA 6, I'm very confident with something such as this, we are going to be completely underestimating what they're going to do. Because, you know, it's one of those things, there's so many different things where a lot of people have higher expectations than we're actually going to get. But the truth is in instances such as this, what they do with the police system could far exceed our expectations.
And that's the thing is as well, we got to remind ourselves and remember that that's just developmental footage. You know, everything's, you know, it's going to be probably way more advanced than that, which is pretty insane to even think about, because those clips are what, 3 years old, 2 years, 3 years old, something like that. So yeah. That's something that we can get pretty excited about as well in terms of how far Rockstar can really take it. Now, I know you actually came, this is probably, well, I mean, you know, you came up with that video, I think it was yesterday, realism versus, or was the other day, realism versus tedium or something like that? Yeah,
exactly that, yeah.
How far are they really going to take it? That's another thing as well. You know, so like obviously it's great to have realism, but then at the end of the day, you know, we got to keep in mind as well that it can be perhaps maybe tedious as well. So
yeah, I think that's something that like I tried to convey that point in that video a little bit. I feel some people misunderstood what I was getting at, which is fine because, you know, I'm not perfect at explaining things, but you know, the Rockstar aren't making a game for the people that enjoy waiting at red lights in traffic and hope that if they run a red light they're going to get in a police chase. Like, that's not the target audience for GTA 6. Now, they may do things where if a police car's next to you when you run a red light, maybe you have to get a speeding ticket or something like that, maybe like a small little fine, it just comes out your bank account, whatever it would be, that sort of stuff, maybe. But in terms of what Rockstar are aiming for, is to make the most commercially viable game that appeals to every single person it possibly can without being tedious. And at the end of the day, implementing technology into GTA 6 that makes it feel realistic is really cool and really impressive. But in real life, the reason why we play games is to get away from some of the tedious behaviors of real life. I don't want to be, exactly right. I don't want to have an apartment in GTA 6 or a house and have to clean the dishes. You know, it's GTA 6. It's not Sims.
Yeah, that's right. If you want to go play some that type of game, you go play Sims.
A lot of people will take the thing that they're interested in. So, for example, say if they play RP and they like doing a certain job role in RP, they'll kind of internalize the whole of GTA 6 to be more focused around the realistic elements of what they want to do. Like, this isn't going to be a relationship simulator. This isn't going to be a house decorating simulator. It's not going to be a police simulator. It's going to be an overall simulation and take on present day modern Miami. And that's what they're aiming for. At the end of the day as well, this has got to fit onto a PS5 and an Xbox Series S and X. It can't be a 1 terabyte game. So there is going to be limits.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, for sure.
This goes on to a question that we've been asked, and I've seen a few questions about this, is will the podcast end when GTA 6 comes out? And the truth is, yes. No.
Yes, we're done. That's it. Over.
We're done. Yeah, so on launch day for GTA 6, we're actually both deleting our channels.
No more Project Vice, no more Cyber.
No, exactly. We're deleting our channels, and we're going to go and live in the mountains, and I'm going to get a pet goat. And
we'll set ourselves on a mountain in Tibet.
Exactly. I know. Oh, actually, reminds me, we need to book the flights.
Yeah, that's right. We need to get on top of that.
I mean, there's two sides to it, and I'm sure like Project Vice will go into this more in a minute as well. But like, there's, we are both at the moment GTA 6 YouTubers. We're talking about a topic that's synonymous with our channels, but we want to take this podcast a bit beyond that. And a little bit later in this podcast, we're actually going to talk about some special guests that we are bringing on in the future. But overall, we are looking to expand this beyond just GTA content. I think overall, we'd like to reach out to more Rockstar Games creators and network more beyond GTA 6, and actually have this as a place where the community can share ideas and we can interview interesting creators. But yeah, I mean, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. The thing is that obviously it's great to have, a bunch of GTA 6 topics to talk about, which obviously is the main reason why we made this podcast.
Yeah.
But I think, just branching outside of GTA 6 is going to be beneficial for the podcast long term in terms of the longevity of it. Because, I mean, if we're just talking about solely one thing, that in GTA 6 particularly, then it's not going to necessarily allow us to, talk to other Rockstar Games content creators or, answer your guys' questions. Because I'm sure you guys have questions that, even if it is GTA 6 related, of course we can consider answering it. But even just about just branching outside of that, I think is going to be much more beneficial as well. So completely agree with you for sure. And
also as well, like because we're both, obviously, I know I've got a little bit of experience editing for people, but as YouTubers, we are both completely new to being the YouTuber here. Like, I think us talking to other creators, because we're already talking to other creators anyway, like behind the scenes, but to actually jump on a podcast and talk to other creators that have done a lot in the GTA community is not, obviously, if we're getting knowledge and we're finding it interesting to do that, I'm sure a lot of you guys listening now will find it interesting. I mean, I get a lot of questions on a regular basis about, I want to make my first video, what should I do? And talking to other creators in the, the Rockstar and GTA communities will allow some of those questions to be answered that maybe me or you can't answer. So it's a really cool thing to be able to actually, we're getting interest now from bigger creators, and those bigger creators are wanting to have more open conversations about the community as a whole. And the fact that we have this platform where we can talk about stuff that we're interested in is sick.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%. And the thing is, as well, is like, I think it's good for you guys as well to gain a bit of an insight into, other content creators as well. Like what is their take on, doesn't have to be necessarily GTA 6, but like their journey with YouTube or just anything in general. I think it's going to make everything much more dynamic and interesting in terms of talking points moving forward.
Dude,
so I'm super excited.
Talking about other creators, have you seen the photo that Justin sent in the chat?
Oh my God. Oh jeez. Oh God, that guy Justin, man, he's funny.
I'm just gonna say we are recording. Where did he find that?
Oh my God. Oh my God, man. This is live for you guys right now. We're literally in the chat. Everyone in the comment section is right now is like, what the hell are you guys like? What are you guys doing?
We can't even post this. It's awful.
Oh my God. You guys don't even want to know.
No, Justin's going to hell, I'll tell you that. Dude, when you were talking then, because as you were talking, it came up, so I just clicked it.
Yeah.
And, like, I genuinely, I was trying to not make noise. I was biting my hand. I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh, that has finished me.
Okay, all right.
I need to breathe 1 second.
Oh my God. Funny dude.
I'm sweating.
Alrighty guys, moving on to topic number 3. That is one of the questions that one of you guys asked is, what stage of development is GTA 6 currently in? So, well, what we currently know at the moment anyways is what Jason Schreier, obviously a reputable James journalist, came out with in February from an email that got sent out via Rockstar Comms by Vice President of Rockstar, Jen Colby, that at the moment what they're doing is they are moving all the Rockstar employees back to the office Monday to Friday. This has been heavily debated whether this is positive or negative for the Rockstar employees. And that they are entering or about to enter the finals or entering the final stages of development on GTA 6. So I think this is particularly interesting in relation to, getting GTA 6 out of the door. What's your thoughts on it actually in regards to it?
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely in the later stages, but it's really weird because I was looking into this a little bit the other day, and the development cycle for most big games developers isn't as simple as write the story, animate all of the story, or do all the motion capture, then do all of the music. Or it's not linear. Like according to a recent Jason Schreier article, which I believe was last week, when he was talking about that Kotaku report that came out about the game being delayed and all of this stuff, he was saying that Rockstar's currently like in the process of doing some motion capture. And he didn't say what that was for, but on the same note, like, they could still be finishing the story now, but the rest of the game could be complete. But in our opinion, the story is a big part of the game, so does that mean it's at the end of development? We know it's in its later stages because of how long it's been in development and obviously how close we are to 2025. Whether the game ends up being delayed into late 2025 or even early 26, hypothetically for whatever reason, Rockstar were aiming for 2025 period, so clearly it's at some point in the later development. But once again, they may not have licensed all of the music yet. They may not have done so many different things because it's not linear. I mean, some development teams would have finished what they needed to do on the game 3 months ago or 6 months ago or a year ago. It's really hard to say, but yeah, like you said, from what we can see so far, it does look like it's in its later stages.
And the thing is as well, there's obviously different departments. Like you said, like some of one department could be finished up with one particular component of the game. The other one's still got a few things left to go. I think most likely at the moment, they're just in the polishing, debugging stages, I would say. I don't know. Would you say that's probably the case, or do you reckon they've passed that stage? Obviously, I'm not too sure in regards to game development, how it necessarily works too much, but I would say that could be the case. But I think considering the she also said that it puts us in the best position to deliver the next GTA at the level of quality and polish we know it requires, along with a publishing roadmap that matches the scale and ambition of the game. So I think that, seeing that's the final stages of development, everything's pretty much, they're wrapping up anyway. So I think it's a good sign that this is the case. Obviously, we've discussed this in previous podcasts that how is this going to affect the employees going into the office and stuff. But I think in terms of seeing that they are in the final stages currently at the moment, I think that is it's promising. I think they should be able to hit 2025. Hopefully so.
Yeah, no, I echo that. It's just everything we've seen so far. It's definitely in its later stages of development. We haven't seen anything obvious that says that the game's going to be delayed. For example, if they were planning for a 2025 release, they wouldn't be halfway through development now. They wouldn't have announced 2025 and dropped a trailer if they were halfway through development. So I think it goes without saying that they are probably in that polishing, debugging phase. They're probably doing some testing, definitely doing some language testing at the moment. We've seen they were doing localization testing. I mean, but the problem with localization testing is that could be for GTA Online, like the current GTA Online. They could be adding some DLC or missions or something, or even NPC stuff. So it's really hard to say, but we know we're at least 85% into the development process for the game. I think that's a fair assumption.
Yeah, that's a fair assumption to make. And, I think the thing is as well, when they put at the end of the trailer coming 2025, I think, perhaps now this is probably just getting into the potential release timeframe when we're going to see the game, or maybe when we're going to see the game. But whether it's going to hit early, mid, or late 2025, obviously we have an idea of the financials in regards to their parent company Take-Two, and we'll get a bit of a clearer understanding within Take-Two's next investor call in May next month. So the 2025 release date that they did put within the trailer at the end, they just want to hope to stick to that. And whether it's early, mid, or late, obviously we'll just have to wait and see as we get a little bit more information.
Yep, no, 100%. Right, so the next topic is what are our future plans with the Cybervice TV channel and also this podcast. So I think it's best if we start off by being 100% brutally honest. At the moment, we're posting these podcasts on my channel because the Cybervice TV channel isn't monetized. And of course, it would be nice to be able to earn a couple of dollars for the work we're doing, so we're putting it on this channel. However, when we get to 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers on the Cybervice TV channel, we can then start uploading the full podcasts on there. Which, by the way, guys, means you should probably go and subscribe to that channel.
Go and sub, guys. Go and sub.
But we do have some big plans in place, and I've been talking recently to this small little independent creator that sometimes makes some videos, And we record these podcasts normally on a Friday. So next time we're recording, we're going to be recording with him. So you might have heard of him. You might have seen some of his videos. They get I think they get about 100 views each. I think that's right, isn't it? Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So he's coming on next week.
Just a small creator.
Yeah, just a small, you know what I mean? We love helping smaller creators on this channel. That's what we're about. We're all about it. We're all about it.
All about it.
So he's joining us next week, but this kind of leads into our future plans for the channel of that podcast is going to be a little bit about GTA 6 and what it could look like, and that creator's perspective on it. We want to gear the podcast more around their experience with YouTube, being a Rockstar Games related channel, and kind of go more into a life stories thing where we're in a unique position where we can actually talk to other creators and ask other creators about what their experiences are like creating content in the GTA space, because obviously we're aware a lot of you guys that do watch this content, some of you want to start your own channels, and it's all well and good listening to me and Project Vice talk about it, but if you can actually have some feedback from a really big creator that's been doing this for years, it's way more important than anything we can say, especially when it comes to like predictions about GTA 6 and stuff. Obviously we're going off our experience and our thoughts and our opinions, but having some other people that have created content throughout these release cycles for games, and not just Grand Theft Auto but other games, their perspective is, well, it's worth so much more in some respects.
Oh yeah, 100%. And the thing is, we sort of touched on this earlier on in one of the other questions, but like the thing is that we want to pretty much, with the Cybervice TV channel, like we said, extend beyond just GTA 6 topics and really get you guys to gain a bit of an understanding of other content creators, whether it be the one we're bringing on, our special guest that we're bringing on next week. And I think the thing is as well, like Cyberboy said, and to his point, if you guys are wanting to start up a channel or whatever, like getting a little bit more of a better or an understanding of these other content creators is just going to help you guys overall, or other than just hearing us talk. So I'm, like I said earlier on, I'm super excited for it, and I can't wait to see where it's going to lead to. So
but there's a lot of synergies that other creators in the GTA community have, and we want to learn more from other creators, and if we can record that on a podcast and on a call, it can surely benefit the whole community as a whole. And so I think it'd be really interesting. But let us know down in the comments which other creators you'd like us to bring on as well, because there may be some creators that are even smaller that we just don't know about, and some of them may have really interesting stories, really interesting perspectives. We're all ears when it comes to listening to who you guys want to hear about. So I'd be very keen to hear what you guys think.
And the thing is, just like get involved in the comment section, like ask us questions, because the more you guys are involved, it's just going to help us bring more fun content and more interesting content hopefully as well. So get involved as much as you can.
And also I want to add on to that, like I'm aware that we get a lot of questions about some stuff, and sometimes we don't talk about those topics, and that's not because we're ignoring you, it's just that we don't want to talk about topics where we can't possibly come to a conclusion. If it's something very vague that isn't in the leaks, isn't in the trailer, and we don't really have a perspective on it yet, it's not something we'll cover. However, when we get trailer 2 and we can actually get some more like visible information about GTA 6, of course that will open the floodgates to a load more things that we can talk about. But for the time being, there's no point dedicating part of a podcast to something that we don't even have an opinion or theory on. So we do appreciate every single comment, so please continue commenting, and if we don't respond, it's not because we haven't read it. We do read it, but sometimes it's just hard to say.
Yeah, that's right. And also the thing is as well, we don't want to sound like we're repeating ourselves as well with certain GTA 6 topics or whatever. So if we've already covered something, we just don't want to sound like we're going over it again and again. So that's another thing to add as well. So
that's the thing as well. It's like when we upload videos, obviously we tag the videos with the correct words related to certain topics. So if it's not on my channel or Project Vice channel, then maybe we haven't covered it, and then we probably will cover it in a podcast. But if you search on either our channels, it's very likely that we've probably touched on it in an episode or something. But luckily, when you search people's channels, it also searches through the captions in their videos. So if we've mentioned a topic in a video, by searching on our channels, you should be able to find the relevant topic.
All right, moving on to the next topic, guys, is how will Rockstar's acquisition of a CFX.re affect GTA 6 Online? Now, if you guys are unaware with CFX.re, they are the company that own the popular role-playing modding servers 5M and RedM, and they actually got acquired in August of last year. So I think with Rockstar's acquisition of this company, I think the thing that we probably need to keep in mind is in terms of the role-playing components, how is this going to impact GTA 6 Online? What components, what aspects are we going to be seeing from this company in combination with Rockstar Games? It's going to be, what are we going to see in relation to, the role-playing side of things? You want to get into this one, or do you want me to get into the points?
I think for GTA 5, we have GTA 5 like online. We have GTA Online as a component, and then of course we have No Pixel, we have 5M, we've got RedM, we've got loads of different role-playing communities, and obviously we have no real confirmation of this, but Rockstar acquiring CFX.RE is not because that they wanted to own 5M or RedM. It was more about them owning some of the technology that CFX.RE were using in those servers to maybe implement some of those things into GT Online naturally, just in normal online gameplay, like maybe refueling, maybe other different systems, because for Rockstar to develop that all from scratch is wasted time and money, and they'd probably spend more money on starting from scratch to build all of those communities than they would by just buying CFX.RE. But also that gives them control over the market. So not only are they buying into system software and some employee bases, they're also buying people out of the market. So it's not necessarily about the technology they have, they are just buying a competitor, 5M and RedM, out of the market and owning it. This has had other knock-on effects for other role-playing servers. Role-playing will always be a thing. I think with GTA 6, especially when it comes to PC and we have an online community, there will always be role-playing servers for that maybe expand upon the existing hardware that existing software that we're going to see and technology that we're going to see in GTA 6. So the 6M, whatever it might be, or maybe the No Pixel for GTA 6 will be a better online platform because it's going to be way more expanded upon from GTA 6. But I think as standard, a lot of the features from 5M and RedM probably be visible in just standard GTA Online. Yeah,
and things will get carried across as well, and whether new bits of technology or whatever will get implemented, I'm sure that will probably be the case. I guess the thing that's particularly interesting, I'll pose this question to you, and I wrote this down. Do you reckon there'll be like like different modes? Do you reckon it will be like a role-playing mode or just a regular online sort of component? Will it be more so just role-playing, like the stuff that we see in GTA Online currently at the moment, GTA 5 Online with the role-playing mechanics in those servers, versus just the regular vanilla version of online? Do you reckon they'll differentiate it?
To some extent, yeah, but like there's something that confuses me because I've never actually played role-play like stuff with GTA. So my thinking is if we're talking about consoles and some of the aspects of that, the functionality, for example, having a keyboard like connected to a PC, there is way more buttons and way more interaction options that you have with a keyboard than you do with a controller. So I feel like GTA Online, if they do implement some of that role-playing server stuff into it as standard on the consoles, it may get a bit messy just from a functionality point of view. This is me being totally naive, like obviously they could implement it in a way that I just haven't even thought about, but I do feel like the core online experience will be so good to the point where it could be a valid temporary replacement for roleplay until the game comes out on PC. That's my thoughts.
Wow, that's a good point. Yeah, I guess I don't really have too much with this because I think I'll have too much to add upon this. Like, other than we don't really know too much other than they've acquired them. I don't know too much. I've never really played the 5M RedM servers on PC. I've never interacted with it as much. I've seen on YouTube or whatever a few clips here and there. But I know how popular and how big it is, so it'll be interesting to see how it's implemented within 6 Online. So, yeah,
no, 100%. I think it's going to be overall quite messy, like initially, because a lot of the stuff that a lot of people now, when they play GT Online, they won't play it on console, they'll play it on PC, and they'll only play 5M and RedM, and they're going to be conflicted between all of the stuff that they've built up in the role-playing servers to then going back to a bog standard online gameplay for GTA 6. But I do feel like the bog standard online gameplay for GTA 6 will probably be vastly better than 5M and RedM is at the moment anyway.
Yeah, and I think the thing is as well is like Yeah, well, obviously we don't really know until we get official word from Rockstar what it's exactly going to be. What's going to be occurring within this. What's going to be happening within GTA 6 Online in relation to this. So, yeah.
The next topic we're going to talk about is NPC routine. So this was a suggestion from Sleepyhead. Do you guys think that NPCs will walk in and out of their homes, like for instance an NPC leaving and coming back from work or something? Me personally, I hope so. That would be a cool detail to the environment. And I think this is quite a good question because this kind of ties back into Red Dead Redemption 2. There's multiple videos out there where you can actually like watch a NPC's daily routine in Red Dead Redemption 2. So I feel like the technology was there in 2018. Why wouldn't they utilize that now? But yeah, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think the thing is what you're saying there anyways. We've already seen it within Red Dead Redemption 2 that like even in Valentine you can see like people leaving. I think it's in Valentine anyways. I don't know, probably other parts of Red Dead Redemption 2 is open world as well. But particularly there you can see NPCs, waking up, going to their job or doing the construction on the, I think it was one of the buildings or something like that within Valentine. You can see that it changes over a period of time. So I think Rockstar can really take it a step beyond whatever that is within GTA 6. Obviously we don't know, but I think it's going to be particularly interesting. Like I don't know how full-fledged it's going to be, like this guy's saying, like, well, will we see them coming back from work or catching the train or going back home to their wife or their, I don't know. I think it's going to be, pretty cool. There'll be so many videos made of it, I'm sure, but Well, yeah, I think it's entirely possible. So I think this works more in combination with one of the patents that Take-Two Interactive filed with like the traffic and NPC AI. So, for example, people going from one destination to another, maybe that's linked into a routine that they have for work. But I'm also aware that in Red Dead Redemption 2, a town might have 80 people in it or less. Like a small little settlement. Miami, Vice City, it's going to have a couple 100,000 people in it. I mean, obviously not in the game, but like it's supposed to be a couple 100,000 or whatever it might be. In reality, it'll probably be maybe like, I don't know, a few thousand, 5,000, whatever it might be. But having programmed routines for all of those NPCs, I mean, if Rockstar had spent the past 5 years of development just doing that, then yeah, that's entirely possible. But the fact is they've still had to build the whole rest of the game, all of the police AI, everything else we've ever discussed to do with GTA 6. So I think that there will be some core people, like maybe people that rake the beaches or lifeguards that will go to their lifeguard stand in the morning, and then at the end of the day they'll jump in a car, they'll drive back to a house. Maybe 1 in every 10 NPCs will have a programmed routine that we can watch and observe. It would be a really cool piece of attention to detail. Whether that would apply to every NPC, I'm not too sure. But still a cool thought nonetheless. And I do think that we are going to be seeing some form of NPC routines like we had in Red Dead. Yeah, and I think the thing is as well, and I think you might have touched on this within one of your AI NPC videos, is that maybe there could be, and obviously to the extent that this occurs, we obviously don't know, but like how are real world events within Vice City and Leonida going to affect the NPC routines? That's something as well that we could probably touch on a little bit there. That whether it's like the weather or whatever it may be, that could be something that could affect their next set of routines. So
that's something else as well. Like in the NPC traffic AI pattern that they filed, there was talk about like when a road is blocked, they'll take a different route, and there's all sorts of different variables such as weather that do affect NPC routes. So that's quite interesting. I think it's more that's one individual pattern, that's one individual data set, but how that ties into different elements I think is what's going to be the really, really, really interesting thing. But what that will consist of is just a waiting game. We're not too sure.
Yeah, exactly right. Nothing much more for me to add there. I don't know about you.
So the last point in this video is from ChallengeCuba748. Do you think there's going to be a geolock at the start of GTA 6? And if so, how do you think Rockstar will implement it, and how big or small will that area be? Now, this is something that I've touched on in a live stream, and I have mentioned it briefly here or there, but this kind of ties into my theory about the story for GTA 6, which would be that potentially the game could start off with Lucia in prison. This could be a good way for Rockstar Games to geo-restrict us to a certain area and also allow us to maybe learn how to pick things up, learn how to interact with objects around us without being able to explore the full and entire map. Obviously in the trailer we saw that Stephanie, the girl who works at the prison, asked Lucia why she's here in the sort of you don't belong here thing. I think that the best way Rockstar can geo-restrict us is potentially with the prison or even the ankle monitor, but I'll hand over to Project Vice to talk a bit more about that.
Yeah, I think the thing is, like, this is a particularly interesting question, because if we take this back, just before I get into the question a little bit more so, but if we just take this back to Vice City when that came out in 2002, I think it was, yeah. There was a section that they did block off part of the map due to like a thunderstorm warning or hurricane warning or something like that, where they actually blocked off parts of the highway, I think, from memory. So whether Rockstar could be implementing something like that again. And in relation to Lucia and Jason, we do know that in the artwork of GTA 6 that did come out, that Lucia is actually wearing an ankle monitor. So that's something that there's been a theory going around that maybe perhaps she won't be able to be get out of a certain part of the map maybe perhaps at the start of the game. So it could be, something could happen in regards to that, where we could be geo-restricted. So whether how big or small it is, obviously we don't necessarily know. Obviously we're just speculating here. But yeah, it could be something that Rockstar may be looking to reintroduce from Vice City. So yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. And we also know for every single game that Rockstar's ever released, they've had a form of geo-restriction. Like GTA 5, North Yankton, Red Dead Redemption 2, it was up in the snow. Half of the like menus you had weren't accessible. It was more of a case of teaching you how to engage with the horse, how to shoot, geo-restriction is a big part of how Rockstar break us into games. And now, whilst it may feel limiting, it's one of those features that you kind of thank them for later, because by the end of finishing a story mode, you know how to do a million things in the game that if you were just thrown into the depths of the game, you wouldn't know how to do. And with how complex GTA 6 could potentially be, with maybe some interaction menus with other NPCs, different items we can utilize, having this kind of mini hand guiding tutorial at the start of the game will be really important. And I think maybe the prison / the ankle monitor is the best way to do it. Maybe in the prison we're really restricted. The ankle monitor then restricts us to maybe Port Gowhorn or somewhere like that. And before we're let loose in Vice City, we have maybe a introduction chapter of the game where we're just taught how to do everything.
Yeah, no, that's a good point that you bring up, and it's probably something that, and Rockstar are known for that anyways. Within every Rockstar title, they always within the snowy part of RDR2. Of pretty much those tutorials or whatever. But yeah, whether it's where we are geo restricted and what extent how far it's going to go in terms of the how big or small it's going to be is it's particularly interesting. So
guys, that's all for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching, and of course we have the Vice clothing merch down below, so go and check that out, because that's the best way to support the podcast. And of course, go over to the CyberVice TV channel, because as soon as we get that to 1,000 subscribers, we'll start posting the podcasts on there. So thank you all so much for watching today's video, and we will see you all in the next one.
Thanks guys, catch you later.